You have reached. Please leave a message. Thank you.
Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today I am trying to figure out what's going on with my stream quality, so I might end up killing a few things, including video and maybe the background music. So this might just be you and I awkwardly spending some time together this morning. So I hope you're doing well. Sorry for the trouble. I've had the internet people out a couple times to try to get this thing solved, and we thought it got fixed, but I guess not. So hope you're doing well. Let me know how the quality of the stream is for you, and then we'll jump right in here in just a second. So right now it's telling me it's pretty bad, but I'm hoping that maybe stopping the music helps some, so we'll see. All right, well, we are going to work on this front-end mentor challenge, especially if I can get things working properly. I don't want it to be a frustration to watch, so right now, it looks like maybe we're doing okay, so I might just keep it like this. Let me know how good or bad it is for you. We can kind of go from there. But this front-end mentor challenge has some challenges to it. I don't think we're going to get the whole thing done today, but I figured it was a good place to start, and we kind of go from there. I might end up trying to finish it out tomorrow. We'll see. In addition to having my internet be kind of up and down, it looks like right now, one of my children also woke me up last night, so I don't know how many hours of sleep I got, but it wasn't enough to try to tackle this whole thing. But you know, I'd already planned on it, and I'm up, so let's go for it and see how it goes. All right, well, hopefully the audio at least is good enough for you to listen, and I hope the visuals will be decent. So let me go ahead and let me do a couple things. Let me switch this over. Hi, officially. All right. Let me know how the video is. I can go ahead and kill this, the video if I need to, if that'll help. I can also kill the audio or the music like I already have right now. YouTube's telling me it has an excellent connection, and OBS is telling me it doesn't. So I don't know what's going on, but here we are. All right. So we've got this multi-step form that has its challenges from a design standpoint, but also it's got a lot of challenges from the coding side. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. Oh, good. Audio is good. Okay. Well, I'm going to trust YouTube for now then. So what I'm going to do is try to focus on coding and not on design, which is very difficult for me to do. So you're going to have to help me out there. And so let's go ahead and jump right in with that. Let me do a couple of things here. All right, let me go ahead and kill my camera because I'm still getting all these warnings and I'm not sure I can code with all that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and code this out, and I think what I'm going to do is use React, and I'm undecided if I should use, okay, video was breaking. Okay, it seemed like it. Well, hopefully this will help. I will move this over, and then we should be good to go, hopefully. Coding might be a little hard to watch with this. One of these days, we're moving in about a month, and so when I move, hopefully I'll have more consistent internet. I live kind of in the middle of nowhere, so it kind of just depends on what's going on. All right, well, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and start officially. And we've got this front-end mentor project up, and you can see right over here, let's see. Yeah, you can see right over here, we've got the version of this for mobile, and then I've also got the same thing for desktop. It looks like we've got multi-steps here that I'm guessing you should be able to click between, and then we've got just like going back and forth between as well here, and it should, I'm assuming, just jump around here as well. And then at the end, you've got some kind of summary. There is actually, let's see, I guess it's in these designs. Let's see, yeah, so they give you actual values for all this, exactly what it should look like. If it's a valid email address, if it's not a valid thing, step by step. So there's a lot here. I don't think we're going to get to all this, but let's go ahead and jump in. And what I think I want to do is just, let's go ahead and pm create Vite at latest. Should I use TypeScript? That's the question. Yeah, it does seem like a bitrate issue. I've set it to the exact thing that YouTube is telling me to set it to, and I've never had trouble until like the last month. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Let's call this multi-step React, and we'll just do it here. I am still definitely actively learning React and TypeScript. I'm not sure I should try to do both on an already, challenging project for the hour and a half or so we've got, at least for me. But should we just do it? While we already have things going up and down, let's try TypeScript. All right, I'll do this and we'll see kind of how it goes. Multi-step React, pm install. All right, and hopefully everything gets up and running. Let's go ahead and then pm run dev this thing. All right, so it's just inside here, and I'm going to keep all the rest of this here so that I can drag in assets as I need it. In fact, what I'll probably do is just go ahead and drag these into my SRC folder. Anyhow, I guess I already have assets there, so let me pull these two like this, and I'll pull it into here. So like I said, what I'm going to try to do is focus on the actual code and not on designing it out. So it's going to look ugly for quite a while, but we're just going to have to deal with it emotionally. So let me go ahead and pull this up and get this in the right browser over here. All right, so we're up and running. That's good to know. Got everything locally set up here. Let me go ahead and let's see. I think this is going to be fine. This, we're going to just kill all this stuff. Probably what we should do is take a little bit of time just to think through this so that I'm not trying to do this live while I'm thinking through it. I might talk a little bit less than normal because it's going to require a lot more thinking here to get this to play out the way I want. So with that said, let me go ahead and before we do too much of anything, let's just kind of plan out what this project is going to look like. And I'm going to talk this out live and we'll kind of go from there. Will I be using Tailwind? I'm not sure I'm going to get around to designing this. In fact, I probably won't today. So, or actually like coding the CSS. So maybe tomorrow if I end up finishing this stream, it depends on how my internet cooperates because nobody likes watching a junky stream. So I might just record it locally and then post it later as a live coding challenge. Okay, so let's kind of think through this. I think what I want to do is extract all the logic out to a hook. And so let's start with create a hook. And the hook needs to do a bunch of different things. So maybe we'll save the actual steps of the hook for the actual hook file, and I'll do the same thing there. So I've got the hook, and that's I'm going to pass, I think what I want to do is pass each step as, I think I want to do it as a React node, basically, to the hook. And then I want to create, let's see, the hook should handle all the logic. So when I advance steps, that should be done by the hook itself. When I go backwards, that should be handled by the hook. But I think what I should do is use the form itself to actually validate that I've got everything that's required filled out, because it looked like there were some required things I had to do. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pass each step as a React node to the hook, which means I also need to probably before this, so let's come in here. Before this, I need to create each step as a separate file. I guess it's going to be a TSX file. And so each step of the form will have that. Probably what I should also do at some point, and I'm just kind of spitballing this as we go here. Let's close this down to give me a little bit more room. I need to set up typing in the app file. And then I think what I'm going to do, I think there's something called, is it like pick? I need to check that out. Like I said, I'm very actively learning TypeScript and React, both of them. So this is definitely going to be a challenge for me. Some of you who are more skilled at that, this is kind of your bread and butter, but this is what I've been learning the last few months. So, okay, so let's at least start with this, and I think that's a good starting point. So let's create a hook. So I'm going to create a folder here called hooks, but let's just call this like use multi-form, sure,.tsx. And I guess I need to put this inside of a hooks folder like that. All right, so then let's come in here and figure out what we need this to do. So this is going to handle all of our logic. We need it to take in array of elements. Then I want to handle going forward, backwards, and then if I can spell, and then also we should be able to like click into individual items, so like a go to step kind of thing. So go to an individual step. So if I come back over this way, I should be able to click like on 4 and it should jump down that way. Although should it if I haven't filled out the form? We'll figure that, like if there's a required thing I haven't done, we'll see. Maybe I'll make people figure that out first. Okay, handle going forward, backwards. We might do go to step. What else would I want to know? Which is the current step I'm on? Anything else I need to know? I guess I could also, there might be some like utility things just to make it easier. So for instance, if this, yeah, so we could do something like if this is the last, or if current is first or last, because if it's first, I don't think I want to show this go back. And if it's the last one, I'm assuming this needs to change. I forget what the design looks like. We can look at that in a second. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and template out this this multi-step form thing hook. So down below here, what I'm going to want to return eventually is an object here. I know I want to take inside of here an array of, yeah. What are these things going to be? These would be like React. Why am I getting no autocomplete for any of this stuff? All right, well, we'll figure that out in a second. Let's come back up here and let's do import. I know I'm going to need use state. I will also need React. Isn't it element, I think? If I can spell element, maybe. Let's see. Can I take in this? Sure. And we'll call this something like form steps. React element. I mean, this is, this should be an array of form steps. React element like this. Okay, I think. All right, maybe TypeScript was a bad idea. We'll figure it out as we go here. I passed this in. Yeah, I should be getting it like this. Okay, well, let's not worry about this for now. Let's just leave this untyped and we'll go from there. So what I'm going to want to do, I think I actually want to return back my form steps here. I want to know what my current step is. Let's see, I think I should be able to just do that. So let's set up we got an array of elements in, at least that's what we're going to eventually type it as. We're going to handle going forwards, backwards. Okay, so let's first of all set up an index. So const, let's do current index, set current index. Again, I don't know why I'm not getting any of my autocomplete in here. And we'll take this from use state. JSX.React element. Let me, all right, I'm going to do a couple things here. Number one, I'm going to switch back to my thumbnail, and let me go ahead and switch my environment because I'm using my coding and public coding environment. I think that's throwing off some of my autocomplete that I normally have, and I'm definitely not going to be able to do this without that. So let me go ahead and switch over to my normal one that I currently use just for my normal coding. I actually have two different VS Code environments, and I'm not going to try to do it in my coding one. You might have to deal with some things you don't like as much, but that's right. That's why I typically try to code in my coding in public one. That way it's not as frustrating for people who don't like my preferences. But all right, let me get everything switched over. All right, let me CD into, I know I'm not showing anything yet. I'll be right back. Okay, We're going to cd into the multi-step form. If this thing will let me. All right, we're going to shut it down one more time. I'll be right with you, I promise. And then hopefully that will help give me some of my autocomplete stuff. Not really sure what's going on there, but oh, what in the world? Okay, I think I'm getting close to there. My VS Code local terminal isn't showing the same like folder structure as like what I'm actually in. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but okay, multi-step React, pnpm run dev. All right, I think I'm actually up and running. Let me close this down and switch back over for you. Okay. Let's go back into here. I'm in my multi-step form. I keep all my stuff on the right because that's my preference. So if you hate it, sorry. App, hooks, back at it. Okay, so let's go ahead and I've also got my error handling very prominent here, which you may not like, but that's all right. So current index, what I want to know is basically this current step should be my current index. Let's see. My form steps, current index. Okay, so I think that should work. This here, let me just do this current index, set current index. Okay, and we'll type all that in a second. All right, let's go ahead and get these. Let's go forwards. And what I'm going to do here is basically check which index I'm currently on. So if current index is equal to, let's see, if it's the very last one, that's what I don't want to do. So I'll return. And again, I have custom ligatures in my personal preference, which I don't usually use on the channel. At least I haven't the last several months. So if you hate those, sorry. Form steps.length -1. So if that's the case, then I'm just going to return out of here. Otherwise, I will just say set current index. This is going to be, grab my previous and do current pre +1. Okay. And then we're going to do the same basic thing here for going backwards. Calm down. I know I'm going to change it backwards. And if this is now equal to 0, so if I'm at the very first step, I'll return. Otherwise, I'm going to subtract 1 from it. Okay, I think that should work. Let's see, I should probably turn off this error thing for now, just so it's not quite as distracting. I don't mind it myself, but let's see, it's going to make me reload. All right, so maybe we can check that in a little bit. You can see I can still see the errors if I really want to. Let's pass these things. So go forward, and then we'll also pass go backwards. So we're just trying to handle all the logic in one place, and then I can return everything I need from here. And that way I could use this for for different forms as I need to. All right. Let me make sure nobody said anything. Let's see, what extension are you using for block code guide? I'm not sure I understand that. If you mean this right here, this like yellow line, maybe? I don't really know. I can check. All right. Well, let's keep going. So we've got our form steps. We're going to pass in and then get back from it because I think that'll be the easiest to handle it. We've got the current step we're on. We're going to go forwards and backwards. Utility if it's the first or last. Do I really need that? I guess I would for showing stuff in the UI, which is probably what I was thinking. Hey, Leonardo. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'd love to know where everyone's watching from. Hopefully the stream quality is okay. My internet has been really frustrating to me. It looks like YouTube says it's still okay. I hope it is. OBS says it's horrible, so I don't know what's going on anymore. Let's go ahead and say, let's pass this as a Boolean. So, is first index, something like that. And then what we'll say is current step. If this is equal to 0. Yeah, I think so. And then we'll say, let's say is first step. How about that? And then this could be is last step. This is current index equals form steps minus 1. Do I need anything else handled in this hook? It's got an array of elements. Handle going forwards, backwards. Which step I'm on. Okay, so we did all that stuff. Yeah, so we'll need to look at this. Stream's okay. All right, awesome. All right, so we just 1 second here. I gotta switch over to my other screen here. All right, so we've got to come back and type this stuff, which we'll do in a second. Let's go ahead and just kind of take one thing at a time. Let's first grab. So we're going to get a bunch of stuff here from use, what did I call that? Form, multi-form. There we go. And we need to pass it several things because, again, it receives an array. So for now, let's just give it like an array of divs, which I guess technically are JSX elements here. So let's go just like this. And I'll just grab each of these and we'll go 1 to 4. And oh, it's because it's not typed. It's okay. We'll get around to it. We're going to do one thing at a time. This is still good. Okay, so now I've got all of these here that are now being passed down to this multi-step form right inside here. And then I've got these different methods essentially that live on this that I can pass forward and backwards. I guess I also wanted like a go to section kind of thing so we can get that if we need it. I'm getting back from here then, my form steps. I can also get current step. What else do I want? Go backwards, go forwards, is first, and is last. All right, so I've got all those. Now what I'm going to do is just output. Can I output like my form steps? My current step now, is this just, I should probably type this sooner than later because my current step is just going to be it's not going to be the index. It's going to be the actual step. I probably also honestly want this current index because I don't just want the element passed back. I would also want to know if I'm on like 1, 2, 3, whatever. So let's get back around to that. So let's come up here and say current index. And maybe what I'll do is just pass back the current. Let's do the current step. So let's do current step. And that way I'll actually get back a div with 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. All right, so here we go. We also need to set this current step to something. I didn't actually initialize this state. Goodness. All right, so back over here. Let's see. What am I messing up over here? Current index, set current index. What am I already messing up? All right, let me check my mentions over here, see if you guys have any suggestions. I don't like the idea to pass React elements as props. Current index is number set to 0. Yeah, I mean, there are other ways to do that, but I think that's the way I'm going to do it. That makes sense to me. But again, like I've already mentioned, I'm actively learning React, so I'm not pretending to be an expert here. But all right, let's come back over here. Let's see. I'm destructuring this. Well, that was stupid. So I think that was my problem. So this needs to be a React element, and this can be an array of React elements. I think that works. Let's see, the rest of these things, I guess this is already going to be a number naturally. So there we go. This form steps -1, that shouldn't be form steps. What should this be? Current index equals formStack.length minus 1. All right, any other errors in here? I don't think so. Okay, so there we go. That was my problem. So here I am. I get this first one. If I were to change this, which I guess I could just manually do here, this should go to 2 and 3. Okay, so it's actually going to be switching as we update it. So let's set up some basic buttons to kind of get stuff going here. All right, so let me have a button here, and this will say like next, and then let's grab another button, and we'll go previous, like this, and then let's go ahead and just set up, let's grab both these at the same time and say on click equals, and let me make sure I can see contents like this. Hey, you're welcome. Well, we'll see. Text pastry. What is the extension you're using for text pastry? It's called text pastry. Yep. Vladislav, how would you do it if you didn't pass React elements as props? Because to me, at least, that seems the simplest, is just to kind of use that as an indexed thing, because then I can use this for multiple different forms, and I can just pass it each of the subsections. At least that's the way I'm thinking about it. But what I'm going to do here is say that on click, this needs to go backwards, like this. I can just pass it. What am I doing? I can just do go backwards, right? And then here, I think I can do go forwards. All right, so we've got both of those set, which means I should be able to go like this. Yeah, okay. So what it's doing is as I click here, it's hitting this function, this method I'm getting from the hook, and the hook is checking and saying, hey, is it the last one? Like for this one, it's saying, is it the very last one? If so, then return. Otherwise, go to the next one, and same thing here. And the fact that these are backwards is throwing me off, so I'm going to switch these. So this will be back, this will be forwards, so at least they're logically kind of in order. All right, so the other thing I want to do is decide whether or not this thing shows, and this would just be like, if this is the first step, this is not the first step, then I would show it like this. And let's go ahead and change this back to 0. All right, so it shouldn't show. Then I click, and this button styling right now is just the default for Vite, what you get out of the box, so that's why it's styled. And then I guess eventually I'd want this thing to change to whatever it's supposed to say, I'm assuming at the very end. And let me check, what is this actually supposed to say? Design active states, text binary. Okay, so it's supposed to say go back and next step. So let's do that. So I'll come back over here and we'll call this go back, and this one will be next step. Now eventually I'm assuming there's like a submission thing. Step 4, confirm. Is that what it changes to? Okay. So, and then if it's step 5, or if it's been submitted, all of it's gone. So maybe I need to say like is submitted or something, have that as another piece of state somewhere, maybe just in the app. Okay, so confirm, let's do that. So I'll say, let's switch this text out depending if is last step. If it is, then I'll say, oops, confirm. Otherwise, I'll say next step. All right, so I should be able to go back. Next step. Oh, next step, next step, next step, confirm. Okay. All right, so I think we at least have it moving between items. Now what I need to do is actually set up a form itself. So let's see, we did this kind of, sort of. We have not yet done this. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think, let's just call this components. And inside here, we're going to have different steps for each. So maybe I'll just call this like step1.tsx. There's probably a better way to do that. Okay, so let me switch over and see what people are saying. It's hard to code and keep track of everything. Let's see, you can show needed element depending on step. You don't need to pass the elements. Okay, that's true. Reuse exactly those elements. Okay, clause is also with him, step 1, as props to the hook. Okay. You could also go with HOC. You're going to have to help me out there. I'm not sure what HOC means, but a lot of the jargon, because I am self-taught, like I don't understand a lot of the jargon. I was talking to someone yesterday who was talking about their job as like a product designer. And I was like, oh, okay, so you make physical products. And he's like, no, I'm like in web development. I'm a product designer. And I was like, oh, sorry, I don't know anything. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and start with this, and then I'll come back. And I see the point of maybe just passing in, just getting an index back, and then rendering what I want in the app. So maybe let's do that. But let's refactor. Let me pull up the design for step 1. And that way we can see what it's supposed to look like. So let's split this, and then I'm going to come over here, and I think I'm just going to pass each of these. So let's see, I'm guessing this top section, we could do this in a couple different ways, but I think probably what I'll tend to do is just, maybe let's actually leave this as a div, and eventually add some classes to kind of set all this apart. Let's set this as an H2 though. We'll say personal info. I wish, this is one thing I hate about these, is that you have to like manually copy everything. But maybe if I actually copy it, that will speed us up a little bit. Do they have? Not there. Down here. Let's see, what do they have? Okay, so they've got some stuff. So we'll do that. I'll grab this, 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 this. Oh, psych, that, and that. Okay. So for now, let's come back. Where are we at? To step 1. And I'm going to paste all these things back in. This is by a company called Tapbots. They're the ones who just got shafted by Twitter for Tweetbot, but they make a clipboard manager called Pastebot, and you can sequentially paste stuff, which I really like to do. So that's what it is. So we'll call this name, and this will be for the name, and this will be input, and this will be type of text. That's fine. Placeholder is going to be Stephen King, because that's what they've got. And we need to give this an ID of name and name of name. That should work. Next, we've got a label here. We'll do for email. Let's see, anything else? I don't think so. Just say email address. And yeah, that should work. Input. Let's see. Yeah, input in here. We'll make this for email. ID will be email. And let's see. What else do I need? Name is email. Okay, placeholder. I should probably also, just for user experience thing, make this auto, what is it called? Auto focus, right? And then you can also do auto complete. And there's like name or something. Let's check all these. Name, given name. Isn't there like a, we'll just say name, I guess, because I think that will autocomplete to the person's name. We could do the same thing down here. Autocomplete. Correct. Focus. Yeah, I think that's it. Autocomplete would be email. I'm not sure why that's not popping up without me pressing it. Okay. And then we've got a label here for phone. And we'll say phone number. And then down here we'll have input. This will be type. Isn't there like a, there's not like a tel, is there? Is that a thing? You can look that up and tell me if that's not a thing, but we'll say phone number. I thought I already had that. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll do placeholder here. This is half the reason why I think this project is going to take a while, just because you have to like manually type in all this stuff for every single thing. And then we haven't even typed anything, and I don't know, it's going to be a whole thing. Okay, so we're going to call that good. Let's see. Now let's actually get this. Let's see. Let's just kill that down. Come in here. And what I want to do is pass this in as the first thing. So step 1. I'm pulling that in. Yeah, there we go. All right, so step 1. Maybe. It just totally disappears. All right, what am I doing wrong? Step 1 is unrecognized in this browser. Well, it's probably because it's step 1. What am I doing, like lowercasing this? Goodness, Chris. So let's grab this. Let's just do step 1 like that. Step 1. Pull this in as step 1, step 1, step 1. Now it really hates me. From components. All right, let's pull this out ourselves. No, it should be just components. Come on, components. The file itself is step 1 though. Okay. Let's change this out to step 1. Maybe I should have actually named these something important. Sure. Okay. Let's see what it's doing now. Wrap the form. Oh yeah, I do need it inside of form tags. I'll do that in the app itself. Paste app is cool. Yeah, I know. It's called PasteBot. Can you nest inputs within a label element now? Yeah, you could. Yep, you can definitely do that if you want. I think because I'm going to lay them out one after the other, I'm just doing it for stylistic reasons. Higher order components. Thanks, Gary. 2 columns, left sidebar and main component. Yeah, definitely in the app. Okay, I think I got, did I not return anything out of here? Oh my word. What is this? Well, no wonder it's all grayed out. Let's just, it's this auto semicolon insertion. All right. Maybe. Help me out. Okay. That was painful. All right, so that's step 1. Step 2. All right, so at least we got all those. I think what I want to do is, before I get going too far, I want to actually, so originally I knew I should not have done this with TypeScript, but here we are. All right, this is my own fault. So we'll just say like, should I keep this in a separate file? I think I'm just going to declare everything I need here as we get going. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so we'll say like form items or something like that. And then what I'm going to do is set each of these. So we've got a name, I know, which is a string, email, which is a string, phone, which is a string. Is that everything so far? Okay, so now what I want to do is this. Let's see how we're going to do this. Maybe I should extract this all. I'm just trying to think exactly. Well, I guess I'm going to want, I want initial state that can basically be populated. So I think what I want is const like initial, let's do like initial values equals. I think we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to just set these things like this. This might not be a great way to do this. So we'll do email, phone, and then I can type these all as form items. All right, so that should work. And then what I want to do is I think I'm going to set this as like form data. And for now, I will set this as my initial values. Does that make sense? So what I'm going to want to do is basically check against these and use these values here. And now I need a way to basically update the values. Yeah, I think this is going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread in my form items. No, my initial values. No, none of that. My form data. My form data. All right. And then I want to pass down, which this isn't yet receiving that, which is fine. We'll get around to it. Then what I want to do is pass down some kind of function to handle updating this. So we'll say const update form item, maybe. And we'll take in some item. Is this what I want to do? This can be I'll get around to this in a second, to typing it all. Let's just, for now, say basically what I want to do is take my set form data, and because I think I need to use, what is it called? Like TypeScript partial. Awaited. I don't want awaited. Oh, partial. Here we go. Hey, this is literally what they're doing. Fields to update. Partial. Excellent. Okay. Right? Is that what I want? Let's steal this. Update form, and we'll take form item. It could be items, I suppose. Wait, to do is the whole thing. So I guess this needs to be form data. No. Now I'm getting confused. Memoize steps. All right, Vlad, when I get around to that, you can help me with that. This is definitely coding and learning in public, so I'm all for all the help I can get. Like I said, I'm actively learning React and TypeScript, so these kinds of things where I have to do this live is helpful for me, especially because I get to interact with other devs where normally I'm just doing this by myself, so I'll take what I can. Update my form. What I want is my to-do, fields to update, partial from my form items, right? Then I can pass in fields to update. This to-do would just be all the rest of my form data, right? And this would just point to form items as well. Is that right? I think I'm doing that right. Then I need to pass this down like this down to step 1. So step 1 should receive a couple things. First of all, it receives just the data I need. So I can just pick out the ones I want. So name, email, and phone. So name, email, phone, and then I also have my update form. So I think all these come down. Now I just need to type these. So we could just say like step props or something like this. And say type step props equals, and then actually here's where wasn't there like a pick TypeScript? Isn't that what I said over here somewhere? Pick, yeah. So show me pick. So I can grab everything from here. So I need to export this. Export, which means I should probably just extract this to another file. But for now, let's just import these from my app. I think that's right. And then what I can do is picking the set of properties keys that I want from the type. So I only have to really type it once, and then I can just pick it off. I think I'm doing this right. All right, pick. And then what I want to do is grab my form items, right? And I just want email and phone, right? Not this. Now, do I want it to... Do I use this right here? This pipe, because isn't that like a union type? I don't know. You can tell me if I'm wrong there. All right. So I think if I did this correctly, I'm getting these things from that type. And these are now... Oh, the problem is I've got step props equals this. So I think what I need to do is, can I do like an and here? Maybe. And then say update form is... I guess it's not really going to return anything, right? Is this right? Okay, you can let me know if I did that correctly or not. Maybe Vlad, since you're watching. All right, so I think I picked off all the things I need. Okay, so I think I did that correctly. Now what I need to do is set these things as values. So this needs to be the value of email or of name. And then I need to do an on change. And this on change is going to point to my update form. And I guess what I want to do is take the e.target. See, I need to pass this name is my e.target.value. I think that's correct. And so it should basically save that back to this initial state value. So if I come in here and I start to type, no, it's not. Okay, so let's see what I did wrong. Update form. I'm passing it the name on change. That's correct. I must not be saving it properly here. Well, yeah, that's because I'm just returning it. So I need to actually set form data to, I think this is right. Yeah, so now I should be able to go to the next step and then go back and it should still be there. Okay, I think I did that. I did something maybe. Okay, so let's, it needs to call 0, but I'm passing 1. All right, well, let's figure that out. Update form. Now, I copied this. Let me think through this. I don't need to pass in this. I just need to pass in the fields to update. Right? Are you happy? No? What am I doing wrong here? So I should be taking in fields to update. Let me jump over here. What do I need to pick? Well, my understanding was, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the idea was I wanted to have all the forms typed in one place. Otherwise, I'd have to type them each time, right? Or will that just be inferred? You can let me know if that would just, yes, it would be inferred. Okay, let's do it then. How do I get that down here, though? That's something I'm not sure I know. So step props, if all these are already inferred, name is, see, these are saying name any. Whereas when I go here, now it's saying name string. So maybe I don't understand that, Vlad. All right, let's come back over here. So fields to update, this should be one of the form items. Well, it could be, it's just going to be a field, a single field to update, right? And then this should be changed like this. So form data. This should be an array. No. Yeah, it should be an object. I can just use form items without pick. Okay. So like this. So form items. See, but how do I assign this to name, email, and phone? Sorry that you're like coaching me how to do this, but that was at least the way I thought to do this, but clearly I don't need this. My problem right now with TypeScript is I know enough to be dangerous, but not enough to where I'm constantly like overdoing it. So that's where I'm at right now. So if you want to show me, Vlad, I'm all ears, but no pressure. If you're like, I didn't come here to give someone a homework lesson, that's fine too. All right, let's go ahead and do step 2. If I can, let's see, step 2. I think what we're going to do is come over here and just copy the content for now. So select your plan, option of monthly or yearly. I'm not exactly sure how I want to handle these prices either, because they show up, I think, in a few different steps later on. But at least for now, I might manually add them in here, and then we can figure out how we want to show those later. Okay, so label, I've got arcade. This is also going to need some other items. So let's go ahead and wrap this here in a div. And I'm going to eventually pull in an image here. For now, this is going to be, let's see, this HTML 4 element. These should all be radios. Oops, type of radio. Now what I want to do is, see, these names should all be the same though. So I think what I need to do, we'll just call this like plan, maybe. Trying to think how to handle this with the on-change event. I don't remember if I've done a radio button with React since I've been learning React, because I don't do a ton of forms. So I might need to figure this out. So autofocus, I guess I need to auto-select something. So I think you do that with checked with radio. So you can let me know if that's wrong. Placeholder, don't need that. Okay, and then for the label itself, I think what I'm going to do is this whole thing is going to be hidden anyhow in the UI. I'll just hide it and then manually recreate this again whenever I get around to that. And then I guess if that says arcade, maybe what I should do is put this as a span. I guess it can be a paragraph, that's fine. And then below this, we'll have another paragraph that has that. I think that's how I'm going to do it. This should be HTML4. We could call it arcade. And I think that's all right. Okay, let me get rid of all this stuff. And I know I saw somebody mention something over in the comments. I'll be there in a second, but one thing at a time. So I'll grab this. Let me go ahead and copy this down. Let's see, this is also going to need to be inside of another div. So we'll do that as well, but let me grab this and just copy it down twice and change this out. Let's see, here, here, here. We'll change all those to advanced. I have an extension called multiple cursor case preserve that will keep these lowercase, keep this one uppercase. So if you're wondering how I did that, let's see, plan, radio name, value. I'm not totally sure. Do I pass a value here? Because these are radios. I'm guessing I just say which one is checked, right? So I'll need to check that out because I don't remember what I do there. This right here will be $12 a month, which again, I think this piece of state probably should live somewhere, probably in the app and get passed down maybe. You might have a different opinion there though. Let's grab all these and go pro, 15 a month. And then monthly, yearly is a separate little check. So that would probably be, let's see, those are all wrapped. Let me set that down here, I guess. So this would be a check mark, I think, is the way I would do this. Yeah, so, or check box like that. And then I think what I would do is wrap this in a div and do a label that's probably going to be hidden. So in this case, I think I actually will probably just put this inside of the label because it's all going to be hidden anyhow. And then what I think I'm going to do, the checkbox that is, will be hidden. I'll just have two span elements. One says monthly and the other says yearly. I think that's what I would do, something like that. All right, back over to Vlad. Form items without pick, outside. Form items and, okay. Thank you, Vlad. Let's open step 1. So just form items, like this. And it knows that I'm only choosing the ones. Okay. Hey, thank you. I really like, yeah, that's way cleaner. Nothing like overcomplicating things. It's, and that way I can do the same for all these too, because I don't have to really change any of this, which is nice. I guess I could also type this in the app file and pass it down too, but at this point, and just do and without all this, but I'm fine with it here. So step 1, that one's good. Let's go to step 2. Now I've got other things I need to check. So basically I need to set the, where's my step 2? Step 2, arcade plan. So I need to set my plan and I need to set my, I guess this also needs a name. Let's give this like plan length, maybe. So plan and plan length So let's come over here, and I'm going to grab both these at the same time. We'll do plan, and this is going to be, it's going to be a string, right? And then we'll have plan length, and this will basically be, see, would this be a, yeah, so it'd be either monthly or yearly, right? I think that's how I do that. Yearly. And then down here, this would just be set to by default, probably monthly, I guess. Something like that. I think I'm doing that right. Let me know if that's not correct. This obviously is not correct. And this should be just an empty string. Actually, it should be set to the first value, which I guess means this really should be between Arcade, Advanced, and Pro, right? Arcade, and I'm just going to lowercase all these because I feel like that's a little easier, but Advanced and Pro. All right, and then this one can be Arcade to start with, because that's the one I have checked anyhow. Okay, I think I did all those right. Now, maybe before I get going too far with this, let's just go ahead and not get any of these things here. And refactor this like we said we would. So let's get rid of this, form steps, which means I'm also not passing this here, which means the current index is all I need back. Now I do need a total number of steps, right? So how am I going to get that down to here? Because otherwise I have to extract that logic somewhere else, which I was trying to kind of keep reserved just to this hook. So let me know if you have another idea there. For now, I'm going to try to refactor it according to popular opinion and probably what's better. So let's come down here. What we'll do is just say, what if we just said current step equals 0? Then we're going to and step 1. What don't you like about this now? Am I in the wrong thing? No. Update form. That it's not returned. Oh, we're going to leave that alone for now. Also, I usually like to make these I usually like to make these arrow functions just because they're short and they can kind of be, they can be on one line. All right, so I think we're good there. Let's come down here and say if current step is 1, then I want to pass in step 2. I think that's right. I just need to pull this in. All right, so I think that's the refactoring we were after, maybe. Let's come over here and see what we're doing. Form steps, not defined. Oh, yeah. So any ideas on this multi-form? I haven't heard anything yet, so. Because what I need to know is basically how many total steps I have. So maybe I just pass that down, like total steps. This is a number. And now I can just replace all this stuff here with total steps. And I guess both these would need to still be -1, right? Because they're 0 index based. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to pass in total steps and pass in 2 for now. All right. That got rid of our issues, but now we can't see anything. All right, so there's that. So current step, form steps, I don't get anymore. Current step, I don't get anymore. So I need current index. There we go. Okay, so step 1, I start to type, stuff happens. Next step, I get to choose between these, and then I get to confirm or back. Those are all still there. This one's, oh, it is. Okay, so I did remember that. Let's go back here. It's not remembering this because I haven't added that. So let's do that down here. So this needs to be, let's see, I need, what were those things called? Plan and plan length. So plan and plan length. And then this can be value of, okay, so this needs to be update form plan e.target. Is it dot value here? Because really what I need, how did this not get passed in? Update form. Okay, so for my plan, I guess I can just pass in manually here, right? Arcade. Or I could do e.target.id if it's technically by the ID. Maybe I pass it in like this. No? Not sure what I'm messing up there, but I'll get back around to it. Okay, so I think that works to where now if I come in here and I switch around. Nope, still not working. Okay. Maybe it's because I need to do this on all these. So we'll do the same thing here, and we'll do the same thing here. So it doesn't really have a value, right, for a radio. I'm just basically deciding whether or not it's selected or checked, I think. So now if I go back, is it going to stay? No. All right. So let's come back over here. Let's go plan length. So I'm going to grab this right here. And all I want to know is if it's yearly or, so we're going to set this value to plan length. Yeah, I think that's right. And then on change, we'll just set it to, let's see, so unchecked will be, is that how I want to do this? Now I'm doubting myself here, which one I want it to be. Because it's just going to basically be a Boolean, right, between the two. So maybe we make this a Boolean. I mean, that's what it is. It's a checkbox. But I'm saying maybe I type it as Boolean up here. Yeah, and then maybe I just set this as false to start with. I think that's a better way to do this. Let me know if you have an opinion there. So value is going to be checked is going to be equal to plan length. Is that right? Maybe. There's a chance. Plan length. To e.target. Now in this case, what I want is to the e.target.checked. I think. All right. Let me come back over here. What do I do for a living if not learning how to code? Way too many things. That's the answer. No, I have a few different jobs. I am a user education specialist for a company, and I do lots of different things. So, but coding is kind of I end up working it into my other jobs basically because I enjoy it. But most of my coding is not paid. It's just me playing around because I enjoy it. So that's the abbreviated answer. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's come back over here. Let's figure out what's going on here. So let's come back to our app and see how we're updating this. So taking in a field to update, which should be part of my partial. And I think what I'm doing is I'm mutating state here. I think that's why. Yeah, so this needs to be a prev. And then I need to pass in that. Except I would just spread in this as prev. I think that is a problem, but for some reason it doesn't like me right now. Field to update. field to update, because it could be more than one, right? And I need to actually return this. Why does it not like me? Let me know if you're seeing what I'm doing wrong here, because this looks right to me. Set form data. So I should be getting, this is my previous form data. Then I'm returning a new object, which is what this is, with my previous ones, and I'm spreading in any updated items. Right? I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. So let me know if you see. I think for now I'm just going to keep moving. But I guess I need this to work again. So do I just pass this in as prev here and then update the rest? Okay, let's back out of this because it was at least working before. So I need to return set form data. I should grab my prev and update my prev plus spread in any field. I guess it's only ever going to be one if I'm always doing it on input. Field to update. And then this needs to be spread maybe? No, it hates being spread. I'll never spread. All right. Left side. This should not be complicated. Anyhow, I don't know. It's working now, so let's just not worry about it. So we'll say chris@email.com, something, something, next step. Okay. Select arcade, select checked, go back. It's all not being saved now. Okay, so whatever was messed up before was still working, so let's just go back to that because I'm not sure what I was doing. So we're going to call it good like that. Set form data, isn't that what I literally just did? Maybe, oh, you know what? I think maybe I just have to return it. Yeah, because I'm returning an object. Okay. I think that's all I had to do. Something at email.com. Okay. Something, something. Next. Let's go here, select this, check this, go back. Some of the things were saved. Most of the things weren't. Okay. All right, now let's go to step 1 and make sure we get that set, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, let me make sure I'm not missing too much. Same situation, just spill programming job. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Claus. I didn't see that until now. Yep, I was returning an object. Freelancing my gigs. Yeah, honestly, most of the time, my general step is I either tell people I'll do it for free on my time when I want to, and I use it to learn stuff if people ask me to do stuff, or I charge a ridiculous rate and say, or you can pay me this. And so usually people say I'll do free, and then if it's like a business, I'll charge them a big rate. But I don't take on a lot of those because it stumps my learning, and I'm doing it mostly for fun. So once it becomes a job, then it's more work. So okay, so let's come over here, and I should be able to pass in this form. Graphic design, nice. Yeah, I wish I was more skilled as a graphic designer, but like coding, it's just something I've kind of done on the side. So, okay. Void is not assignable to type. Well, what am I misunderstanding here? Maybe that I need to pass in a field to update. Is that the problem? All right, so this should just be a form item. Maybe I call this partial form item. Now it really hates me. Now I'm kind of getting stuck. So this should be a field to update. I should already get this type though if I'm... All right, so update form. Do I even need to do anything over here? Doesn't that get like inferred or something? Right, because this is already being told. I'm already being told here that it's a field update partial, form items, and it returns void. So why am I typing this twice? Well, let's at least set it to that. So partial, partial turn item, form items. And then it returns that. Why don't you like me? Okay, somebody else can tell me what I'm doing wrong there because I'm not seeing it. It also, at least it accepts this. Okay, well, I'm not sure what I'm doing, so you can let me know. This should be fine, though, except that it's saying it shouldn't receive an argument, and that's the problem. So this should be a form item. Can I just pass it like that? So it's just one of those things that's being passed in. So why would I not be able to just say partial form items? Item, partial form items, like that, maybe? Also spread prev and not form data. Well, I guess I was thinking like you could technically, I guess I could set this up or use this to spread in multiple updates at the same time. But I don't know. Let's do it. Email.com, something, something. Next step. See if any of this remembers itself. Okay. So something's not working down here. Well, that's because I never... Oh my. All right, let's get a move on with some of this stuff. This should not be taking this long. Email on change. We'll update this. Same thing here. There should be value is phone. Update phone to this and update email to this. All right. Where's Vlad when I need him? Vlad, where you at? Vlad got sick of this place and ran off. I don't blame you, Vlad. Mail.com, something, next step. Let's go back. Okay, it's all there. Now this is not saving. This is saving, so that's good. If I go back, check back, it is there. This is not saving though. So that's something to figure out. So we've got the plan right here. This value. Okay, so I think what I can do is say checked equals value plan. If this equals arcade. Is that the way to do this? Let's say it is, and let's do the same thing down here. So we'll say advanced, except I probably should just do this as e.target. Oops. No, I can't do e because I don't have an event. Okay. Let's just do advanced. And then this should not be checked. Why did I have all these checked? Oh my. That's the other reason. This one should be pro. Let's see if any of these things work. So I go back. Now it's remembering it. The only trouble is plan should start being equal to arcade. And it is. But even though it is, when I refresh, oh, it is. Okay. It remembers things. All right, let's get a move on. Step 3. I think I should name these things. So select, let's see, this is personal info, select your plan. As much as I hate myself, I think I'm going to go ahead and change this to personal info. Sure. And this one will be select plan. Sure. And then what I need to do, just for my own sanity, I think, is I'm going to say select plan. And I did select this one down here as well with Command-Shift-L. And then over here, I need to say personal info. This one's going to be select plan. Come over here, personal info, and change both of these. Command-Shift-L, personal info. Select plan. Okay, so this should be personal info, and this should be select or steps. Select plan. Is that it? Okay. Now those are working. Also spread Peppo think. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Update form. So my select plan, I finally got this thing worked out here. Now I should be able to do the same thing here. Update forum. Plan. It's saying it has to be one of those. So let's just go ahead and manually type it then. Arcade. It's one of the nice things about TypeScript, but then I'm sure there's a better way to do this where I don't have to type this several times in a row, but I mean, it's literally all within 5 lines, so I don't think it's a big deal. It's not like you're going to forget what the plan is or what it's pulling from. Okay, so we finally got this one done. We haven't styled anything, but as predicted, I didn't think we would. So let me come into here and let's create a new component. Let's figure out what the thing is supposed to be in the first place. Active steps, pick add-ons. So that's what we're going to call it. So let's see. Let's just shut this down. I'm going to leave this open because we're going to need it in a second. So we'll say pick add-ons, ons.tsx. And then let me just steal this and paste it over here. All right, where are my add-ons? Pick add-ons here. So I'll grab this and this and this. All right, so I think that's all I need from there. Let's come back over here, split this to the side. Let's give us a little bit more room and then set this up. So this will be, these are all going to be individual checkboxes. Okay, so supposedly this should be easy. Let's see how this goes. So these will be pick add-ons. Update form, that should all be fine. We're going to want to pull several things from here. We'll get around to that. Let's just get the data in right now. Oops, so like that. Let's scrap all this crap. And let me grab from my step select plan. Is that it? Yeah. Let's grab this. This is going to need to be styled differently, but we'll add that in here monthly. Yeah, monthly like this. And then let me pull back up that command palette. So this is going to have a few things here. So online service access to, so I think I want to switch this up a touch. So I'm not going to actually use this checkbox, I don't think. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is set this, because I'll decide the styling of this whole thing based on whether or not the checkbox is checked. But the checkbox will be a sibling to the div that is all this stuff. So this is all going to be made up. The label will point to it though. So we'll say HTML4, and this will point to services, online services, I guess. And then we'll call this ID of online services. This will be online services. And this checked will be dependent on whether, what are we going to call that? Online services, that's what we're going to call it. If that's checked or not, which we obviously have not passed in yet. So online services, and it's not typed or anything up top. Okay, so on change, update form, online services. Let's do it all together, all right? Let's see, since I guess it's online service. I might change that anyhow. Let's just leave it alone for now. Okay. Then what I would want is all of this is going to be, I guess anywhere I click on this, I'd want to check the box. So if I leave this whole thing, the actual whole thing here, label, as the whole visible box, anywhere I click, will check the checkbox, which is what I'd want. And then I can just style the label based on, I think that works. Okay, so let's do that. I know I'm going to need to set up some things here. So like, for instance, we're going to have probably, I'll honestly just do like some kind of div, and this will be like my box here, the actual fake checkbox. The next section here, these will be H3s, I would guess. This will be online service, and then access to multiplayer games, and then finally I'd have to have the amount. So probably what I would do is set this off just by creating a div around here. So I think that'll work. Okay, so let's do that. See, this div right here is one of these checkboxes, but I'm going to wrap all of these in another div. If I can keep track of this when I get around to it, let me maybe just space this out a touch so that way I can remember. So these are the three sections, 2, 3. And then what I want to do is update these together. So let's grab, this is where I think, yeah, let's back out of that. Let me change all of these here, this services to service for now. That way they're all the exact same so that I can update them all at the same time. And of course, Prettier's making this pretty every time, which means all my spaces are gone. So let's not even worry about that. That means I can check this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I can't grab that one. Oh, well. I'll just change this all to larger storage. So much for that. And then come in here and change this to larger storage. This and this. I think all the rest of that should work. And then same thing here. So we'll grab all these, Command D. Customize. Oh, no, I did it. Customize profile. This is what I wanted to say. Now I got to manually type that, but I guess I had to either way. So customize profile, and then we'll paste this in here, and $2 a month. And I think that is good. Now I just need to type all this stuff. All right, so let's do that. Let's say, so let's see, I called this online service. I think what I want to do, yeah, so I think what I want to do is call this, let's grab all these. We'll say is online service, or yeah, is like online service. It'll just be true or false. That'll work. Okay, so let's change that. This will be is larger storage. Is larger storage. So let's change all of these to is larger storage. And then finally, customizable profile. So we'll say is customizable profile. Maybe there's a better way to do that, but since it's a Boolean, I want it to sound like a Boolean. So let's grab all these is customizable profile. I think that's right. All right, so now let's jump back to the app itself. And move this down and say if this is 2. I'm thinking that's the way that everyone was saying we should do this, customizable. Everyone as in 2 people, but I do agree. I think it makes sense to me. Pick add-ons. Pick add-ons. We got that. Now I just need to add in those Booleans. So let me come down here. See, is larger storage. What are the ones I had? This would be a Boolean. Is customizable something. Customizable profile. This would also be Boolean. And then is larger storage. Did that. Where's the other one I had? Customizable storage. What's that thing called? Online service is larger. Is online service? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this should also be a Boolean. And then let's grab all of these, add them down here. And I'm going to set each of these here to false. And then these obviously need to be commas. Okay, so if I did this right, we just go next. Do I need to add? So this is the thing I don't like about passing these things. Not passing these down is now I have to change this manually. Unless, I guess what I could do. No, there's no real way to do that. So we have 3 steps now. So I'm having to manually pass down. Maybe I should name this like steps. Form steps or something like this. And pass this 3. Is that what I want to do? Is that right? Where's my app? Is larger storage. Oh, is. I think that's fine there. Where's my app? Is it happy now? I guess I'm destructuring it over there. I just need to pass it in as a number. I think that's easier. Okay, so we get all these things. Now we should be able to go next, and there we go. So now I can check these, some of these on, some of these off, come back. It should be still there. Okay, last step. Let's come and get all these finishing up. Double checking everything looks good. Why, yes, it does. Total year per month. I don't really know what that means, but okay. So let's come over here. Let's create a finishing up .tsx, and we're going to do refce. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to just copy it once again. Let's do pick add-ons since we just did that one, and we'll call this finishing up. Now this is going to take in, where's my design? Step 4, finishing up. So we've got a button where they can change that. So I just need another checkbox basically that says whether or not to be monthly or yearly. And then these need to be pulled from somewhere. So do these here. So I probably need some kind of storage in my app that decides the pricing of all these things. And that's actually how I populate the UI as well. So we'll get back to that. Finishing up. Really all I need is the change monthly, right? That's it, I think. Let's come back here though. First of all, finishing up. Do I have anything else? Total per month per year. Okay, so then this, we can just get rid of all this stuff. Is that right? Okay, and then inside here, we're going to need access to a couple things that I guess get passed down. So let me pull over my app. What do I need? I'm going to need the plain length to start with. So let's get rid of all this. So plain length should be either, it's a Boolean. That's right, because I had it as a checkbox. That's fine though. We can. So what we'll do is, I guess I'm going to set these things apart. Well, I don't want to think too much about styling. We can come back here and add divs later if we need to, but we'll have a div here that'll have 2 sections to it. So this will be like the left. We'll do data left. There you go. Just to remind myself what it is. I'm not going to name it data left when I get around to it, but this will be plain length let's see, yeah, so that's a Boolean. This one should be update form as well. Nope. Update form should also be coming in here, but if it's true that it's checked, it would be arcade yearly. Otherwise, it would be arcade monthly. Is that right? I think so. And then below this, I'd have a button that would say change. And on click, now this is a button inside of a form eventually, which I still haven't wrapped this whole thing in a form. So this needs to be type of button so it doesn't trigger the form submit. On click, we're going to take, I guess I need the event, I guess. Do I? Nah. So we'll say set plan, select plan. I guess we could just do the same thing here, right? I think this works. Now, I don't know the consequence of setting this as the same thing here. I guess it doesn't need to be a checkbox. It's just a button. Right? Personal info. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yeah, so I can just say the opposite of plain length. But I need to actually get set plain length. Okay, so I think that's what I need. So is that right? Oh, I just update the form with that. Okay, that's right. Okay, because I handled all that in the app level. So on click, I update the form, and I set the plain length to the opposite of plain length. I think that should work, so it'll be true or false back and forth. All right, and then it should switch this depending on what it is. All right, I think we're set there, maybe. We'll say div here, and this should be data right. And this is where we need to start thinking about how we're actually going to display these values here. So I've got several values I need to think about. I've got the individual add-ons, and I've also got the total amount based on which plan they selected. So I feel like this needs to be extracted somewhere. So this might not be the right place to do it, but let's go ahead and just create, we'll probably just reduce, yeah, let's just do like plan options or something like this. And I'm going to set this to arcade. I think this is right. So we'll do arcade. Do monthly. Now let's do arcade. Arcade. And then I think this will have two values. It'll have a monthly, and this will be $9. And these should just be numbers. And then we'll have yearly, right? Can I get some pictures of what this is supposed to look like? Or I guess I can pull up the plan options, select plan. Okay, so monthly, and there's a check per year, but I actually don't know that I know that yet. Okay, so let's just say this is like 12 now, because I don't know what it is. And then we've got advanced, and we've got pro, and I guess I can make these all part of another object. I think that's fine because I'm just going to pick them off based on whatever this plan type is. So I would just grab the advanced dot monthly or dot yearly depending on what the Boolean is. I think that's fine. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's leave this at 12, and I don't know, we'll do 24 for now because I don't know what it is. 15 and I don't know, 300 something. All right. Now let's also look at the add-ons. So add-ons over here, we've got some options here. This would be $1 a month. So these are no matter what, I think, right? So we could say online services. I think that works. Yeah. So we'll just say what it is, the value of it. That's $1. This is $2. Larger storage is $2. And down here, customizable profile is $2. Okay, so I think that's everything. Now what I'm going to do is populate. Let's export this so I have access to the plan options. And then let me figure out what the actual, I guess let's grab this first, plan options. And then down here, what I'm going to do is we'll say plan options dot online services. That way I can change it in one place and everything should update for me. I think that's the right place to do this. Larger storage. Oh, plan options. Oh, and plan options dot larger storage. And then plan options dot something. Plan options dot customizable profile. Okay, I think that works. Let's also go over to the plan, select the plan. And here's where I need to basically figure out if this is monthly or yearly. So I need to pull in plan options first of all. And then, yeah. Here, I'm going to want to say plan options dot, okay, so now what I need to know if it's yearly or monthly, which I'm already pulling in, right? Plan length. So plan length, if that is true, maybe let's start with false just so I can think month first. So if it's not true, that means it's on month because by default it's set to false. Yeah. So, so if it's not true, then I want to return plan options dot I'm at arcade dot monthly. Otherwise, I wanted to return plan options dot arcade dot yearly. And this is why it's helpful to have TypeScript now that we've actually been using it, because I can, see everything right off the bat. We'll do the same thing here, except what I'm going to do is I'll just say mo for mo and YR for year. Okay, so let's do the same thing down here. The only thing I'm going to change is change these to advanced. And then we'll do the same thing one more time down here. And I forgot I copied that. This will be pro for both those. Okay, so I think that should work. Now I just need to figure out what the actual values are. So let's come back up here, design step 2 yearly monthly. 90, 120, 150. Okay. So this will be 90, 120, and 150. Is that right? 90, 120, 150. 2 months free, I guess, is something else I need to show. So let's come back into plan. And below each of these inputs, is that right? Yeah, so inside this final div here and here, and there must be one other place. Up top, maybe? Yeah, right here. So I need to say, if plan length is true, then I want to insert a paragraph here that's going to say 2 months free. Is that what it said? 2 months free. I guess technically this is lowercase. Oops. I don't know how much that really matters, but let's say it does. Okay. It looks like now my internet says it stinks again. So, and yeah, sorry about that. There's not a whole lot I can do right now. I might just go back to recording these things on my own time and just posting them as live codings, because that might work better. So let's see, if I switch between yearly and monthly, these should switch. And they do, and I get the 2 free months a year. Cool. Come over here, I can check these, and those are all the correct values. So I should be able to come over to the app and change this to like, change this to like, I don't even know, 42. And this should be 42 in a month. Okay, good. So it's pulling all that data live. Now what I want to do is on the final step, I guess I need to add one more step here, don't I? Step 4. Come on. So on this final step right here, that's where I need to pass in current is 3. Then I want to do, what was that thing called? Finishing up. Double check everything looks okay. Excellent. Okay, so monthly. Okay, so it does switch it back and forth. That's cool. Now what I want to do is come into finishing up, and I want to actually display the data correctly. And that's where we got off in the first place, because that's what I was trying to do. So now what I want to do is basically say, over here, this needs to be, I need to get the plan options. So these need to come in up top, which they did. Dot, no, I need to see the plan length, which means I need to get the plan length here as well, which I already have. Perfect. So plan length, yeah, dot. Now, if this is, let's go back the other way again. So if it's not true, so it's monthly, then what I want to do is display, I guess I'll just put this out this way. Don't I have something like this on my clipboard? I'm pretty sure I just did this. Yeah. Month, yearly, is that right? Okay, so $9, and then I just need to say per, and then let's repaste that in, and we'll change this to Mo, and we'll change this to year. Okay, so a month, a year. Okay, that should work. And now same thing here. It looks like all of these online services though. Oh, hopefully that's the case. If not, I should have really paid more close attention. Okay, so that's per month, step 3. Is there a yearly step 3? Oh, come on. There's a yearly step 3. Okay, so 10, 20, and 20. All right, well, thankfully we extracted all that up to our app component, so it shouldn't be too hard, but still. So let's set this to same kind of thing. So we need this to be monthly, and this is yearly, and I already forgot what it was, 10 maybe. And then let's extract all this. These are both 2. Oops. Actually, I think they may have been 20, so that might actually work. Let's pull that back up one more time. Not that one, this one. So 20, 10, 20, 20, yeah. Okay, so now I need to go back down to my plan add-ons. All right, now we've got some extra things to do. So what we need to say is same kind of thing. So plan options.monthly service. All right, so let's repaste in this thing. So if the plan length, which I need to pull in probably right here, plan length. I know, I'm getting around to it. Calm down. If it is not true, okay, so if it's not true, then I want the arcade monthly. Nope, that's not true. I want the online services monthly for both of those. And then here, we need to do the same thing. So we'll say plan length. If it's true, plan options. Plan options dot online services dot. Nope. This is Mo. This is just my Mo thing. Mo, otherwise year. I think that's right. So come back over here. Oh, it died. Okay. What's the matter? Why don't you like me? Objects are not valid. Monthly, yearly, mentor render collection. What am I doing wrong? Above the P. Thanks. In the P component. Oh. Found objects with keys monthly, yearly, if you meant to render. This should be fine. Plan options dot online services dot monthly. Is it this that you don't like? Nope. I'm not sure I understand what's going on here. All right, so let's get rid of this for now and see if it's happy now. Come back to here. So it's not happy even though I haven't done anything yet. So let's see where it doesn't like it. That's not going to help me. Keys monthly, yearly. Let's just restart the server because I don't see those anymore in here because I just took them out. But it doesn't seem to know that. All right, if you're still sticking around, thanks for being here. I know that, especially without streaming, it's kind of a little slow going here with just me talking to myself. But thanks for being here. Maybe it's because it thinks this is, I don't know. Let's try again. Why don't you like it? Do you see what I'm doing wrong here? Personal info, select your plan. This should be the add-ons section, and this is what it doesn't like. Is it this? It seems like it has to be this. Let's try this. Nope. What don't you like? I don't see anything. Keys monthly and yearly. Plan options. Oh, maybe it's here as well. Let's get rid of this too. I mean, it was literally just working 2 seconds ago though. And let's get rid of this here. And now let's see if it likes it. It likes it now. Okay. Now this was working because when we updated it, we had no problem. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. So it's getting this plan options dot online services. So I mean, it is grabbing from this object, but I mean, I can reference objects. I'm not passing it down, but I'm just importing it. I don't see why that wouldn't work. I wouldn't think this would need to be state I have to pass down. I mean, it's working on all the other things, right? Yeah, works fine there. All right, so let's go back to plan. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. So let's see what I did on plan. So, I mean, I gave this thing space. Is that all you want? Do you want some space? Maybe it's this plus is I don't know what the matter is here. Okay, so let's do it like this. Pick add-ons. Take plan length. Maybe that's the problem. It didn't have the plan length. Okay, so let's try that and see if it's okay. So that works, and that's actually what I want, right? No, it's not. This should be online services. Still happy? So let's switch it to yearly. Go over here. So this should be $10 a year. Okay. So I guess it was just the spacing of that. That was weird. All right. Back over here. Let's go like this. And then I'm going to change both of these to say larger storage. All right. Sorry about that. Not really sure why it's doing it that way, but whatever. Customizable profile. All right, so now these should say 10, 20, and I guess these checks are above. That's right, because the way I had it laid out. So 10, 20, 20. Okay. Now it should be working. I should be able to change this back. Now this goes back. Okay, so all of the data is actually reactive now. Now all I have to do is come back to the end and finally add all this stuff up. Okay, finishing up. Let's open back up that final step, which is this works. So year or month doesn't super matter. We just know we have to have it both ways. So let's come over here. I guess what I need to do is first of all check all of the things that are true between online services, larger storage. So I need to pass all those down. So we'll have is online, is customizable storage, is larger whatever thing, and is online service. So all three of those things. Now what I need to do is basically just say I guess I could just list them out below. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So I guess there's a couple things I need to do because I also need to get a final value for everything. So maybe let's do that first. Does this need to be in here? This is fine. So we'll just say const final value equals. And what I want to do is take I think all of these is online service. I want to map over each of those. Is that what I want to do? No. All right, let's just talk this out. So first of all, I want to grab values for every true Boolean. That's not how you spell that. And then add yearly, monthly, plan, value, and then reduce to final value. All right, so let's now do that. All right, so grab value. So I think what I want, let me do, yeah, final value, final sum, sure. So inside here, I guess calculate, no, that's fine. Let's just take in is customizable profile. If that's true, is that what I want to do? Am I overcomplicating this like crazy? because it just needs all the values added up. This is not. I should be able to just say is customizable profile. If that's true, then give me your plain length. Let's do a little helper function. So we'll say, and let's pull this up out of here. So we'll say get year month. No, get yearly, and then I'm going to pass it a prop, and then it's going to return that, and then we'll do the same thing for get. I guess we could just call this get prop and value, and call this get prop. Is this the thing? So I'm going to pass in a prop. I'm going to pass in a value. This prop can only be either yearly. Yeah, either yearly or monthly. Yep, and then this value can basically be any of the ones, which I never really typed those, but I guess I'll just manually type them in here. This is fine. What do we got here? Where's my app? So they can be this, this. I guess even here, right? Arcade, Advanced, and Pro. So it can be any of those 6. So plain options, can I do like key of plain options maybe? I think there's something like that you can do. If you know, let me know. So key of plain options. I think I can do something like that, right? Key of my plain options. Because it knows what this object is, so I should be able to infer the keys of that, right? Keys, let's see. TypeScript, key of type. Key of point. Yeah, that's what I want. I thought that's what I did. So is number unknown, key of. I think I can do this somehow. All right, well, if you know, let me know. But key of plain options. Otherwise, I think I'll just unresolved any. Let me pull all this stuff out. So we'll let's see. I'm creating helper functions to help me save time and just wasting time. So this probably should be extracted to some kind of TS file that's just a helper function for everywhere. But now that I've already manually typed a lot of this stuff, I think I just need to do this stupid addition and move on from there. So const total equals what I want to do first of all is decide if it's yearly or monthly. So I'm just going to take the plan length dot value of. That works. So the plan length is a Boolean. So this will give me true or false. I don't need this though. So plan length equals. So if it's false, first of all, then I will take the plan dot I need the plan here. So I'll take the plain options dot plan, right? Oops, dot plan. I guess I need to pass in the plan. All right, which will be either Arcade, Advanced, or Pro. Dot monthly. Otherwise, plan options, plan.yearly. Okay. So I've got this. This should be a value. So let's go ahead and just console log this to start with. And let me move this down here. And let's just see if this is actually working. So I'm getting 12, which is what it should not be. Okay, so why am I getting 12? Plan length, goodness, Chris. So this is monthly. If it's monthly, then I should grab the like arcade or pro or whatever it happens to be. This says it's arcade. Maybe it's actually pro and I didn't. No, it's advanced. Okay, so that's my problem. So my addition's right. It's this arcade monthly thing that's wrong. Okay. So plan length, this should be also dependent on what plan they chose, of course. So let's change this up as well. So this can just be either yearly or monthly. Right? And then this, right before this, would just be the plan. And maybe this is where I should have uppercased those things so I don't have to. Let's go back to this just to make sure. Okay. So yeah, let's call this plan. And then maybe let's just go back. I think it'll be easier just to take the app here and change. Well, now everything is lowercase here. Arcade. And same thing here with advanced. Maybe we'll just advanced. Oops. Advanced. There might be a, I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but come on. Why isn't this thing letting me do a capital P? Oh. So this is going to be pro here. And this is going to be pro here. Do I need anything else being pro? Pro. Okay. Now I need to go back through all my form things. So select plan. This needs to be, all these arcades need to be arcade. Oh, it's because my extension. Well, that's where it doesn't help you. So these here need to be arcade. Same thing here and here and here. Arcade. Okay, let's go next to advanced. And maybe what I'll do is change this down and then I can grab all these advanced like that. And again, I sure feel like there's a better way than just uppercasing all these now, but pro, there must be another one I left off somewhere. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, pro. Okay. All right, I think the plan's good. Let's go over to the add-ons. We're going to do the same thing here. I should have arcade somewhere. I guess I just reference that maybe. Maybe I don't need to. I think I just grab it off the top. Okay. That works. Finally finishing up. Let's come over here. Since we're just referencing these like this, that should work. These two should be arcade. Okay, I think that's right. So over here, $9 a month evidently is what I set this to. If we go back and set this to 12 and we go back to monthly, 15 now. So this one should be pro monthly. Is that right? No add-ons. I'm at pro. Now my math is wrong. So let's come back up top. Total equals this. Oh, no, I never changed it. So the total for pro monthly over here, this should be dependent on what the plan is. So both of these should be plan like this, which means now it's 15. Okay. Well, that was a hot mess, but I think we're closer to understanding what we need to do. So I've got online services, larger storage, etc. So that's my, here's my total here. So we're going to have a bunch of things here that we're adding, right? So I guess I can just duplicate this a bunch of times. I feel like there's a better way to do this, but I mean, these should all be returning to me numbers. Right? Maybe I just do this just to keep stuff separate and a little easier to read. This is not the right way to do this. If you can think of a better way to do this, I should be able to just do this in like a reduce function or something. We'll just do online total. Or add-on total maybe. And in this case, what I can do is say, let's take the is customizable, is larger stores, and is online services. So all I want to do is reduce from these. I can't reduce. Let's take an ACC. Let's take a val or an add-on. And then at the end, I just want a number. And at the very least, I'm going to return the ACC. Oops, and this needs to be turned inside here. Okay. So now what I want to do is basically say ACC return. Let's see if add-on is good. So if it's true, then I want to take plan options. I also need to know the plan length, right? Dot, no. So I guess, yeah, no, this should work. So plan options dot add-on. So like if it's customizable profile is larger storage. Oh, but these aren't named the same things. Oh man, got myself in a pickle here. So, I mean, there's got to be a better way to do this. App. So what I want to do is loop through these basically and then grab this customizable profile, etc., etc. I mean, I could just like substring off the first three letters and then lowercase it or something. That seems really cheesy, and I'm going to still be stuck with this middle uppercase value. Let's just grab something like this. So add-on. Can I grab this? Let's just do it like this. Well, this is not right, but if add-on equals is larger storage, then name should now be set to larger storage. And we'll just copy this down 3 times and call it good. Oops. Right? All right, So let's just copy this down 3 times. There's definitely a better way to do this, but let's just take this right here, customizable profile, and then is whatever the other one is, online services. This will now just be online services, and this can just be name. And then I can grab the plan length, which should be yearly or monthly. The name is right here. Maybe it's yelling at me because it could be undefined. So, oops. So I'll just set it to something. How about that? Larger storage. Well, I'll just initialize it this. Is that why it doesn't like me? Any type. Well, it's not though. Right? Plan options dot name. So this would be like monthly, yearly, or whatever. And then this is plan length. Oh, maybe this is what it doesn't like. So plan length, if that's not true, then this needs to be monthly. If it is true, it needs to be yearly. Happy? No? Oh, man. All right. Let's call this like plan name or something. Plan name equals so this really needs to be larger storage. Now I'm just like randomly typing stuff. Customizable profile. I could do a switch statement, I guess, here. This is still not right, though, so I'm not going to waste time on that. Is online service. Okay, and now I think it should be happy. Customizable storage, online service. Okay. Now back to the actual return. So add-on. All right, so if this is all that stuff, then add it on. Otherwise, just return the ACC. Okay, I don't think I did that right because I don't think I returned the ACC or added to the ACC in the first step. So we need to do that. So it would be, this would be ACC plus whatever that value is. Okay, so let's check this here. TypeScript. Yeah, I'm using TypeScript. Why return down here? Because you have to return it to each of the implicit things. I guess here I don't really need to. I guess I just get rid of these. I don't know that that would matter. Let's add on one online service, $12 a month. It didn't like that though. Now it likes that. I'm not sure. Okay. Not sure why I was doing that. Okay, so the other thing I need to say, add on total. I guess up top here is where I need to say, if add-on is false, then I just return the ACC. Right? So like a little guard clause here. So this is not true. So I don't have it, then just get out of there. That should work. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is get my add-on total, my plan total, and I'm going to console.log my add-on total and my plan total. Sorry, plus my plan total. All right, all that to say, something should happen. Boolean. Why is this a Boolean? Add-on total, goodness. Plan total, add-on total. This should be a number in the N. Boolean is not assignable to type number. Why is this thing being typed as a Boolean? Because I should be getting back here. I've got an array of Booleans, but it's reducing down to a number, right? Oh, yeah. Let's just see what it does. All right. We get to this final step. Something's going to happen. It might just break. It says customizable profile. You can't make this stuff up, people. Okay. So customizable profile. Somehow it's returning customizable profile, probably from the add-on total. Yeah, 9. Okay, so let's figure this out. So evidently I checked customizable profile, which is true. So now it's should set the name to that. Okay, we got that. Then what I want to know is I'm going to add on. If the add-on's true, well, it doesn't matter at this point. I already checked it up here. So now I can just say return this ACC plus this, which should be, so plan options, I'm coming down to name, which should be online services or customizable profile, whatever, and then plan name of either monthly or yearly. So ... That should all work, right? Okay, what am I doing wrong? Okay, so let's check both of these and see what happens. Larger storage, okay. I'm just referencing the value on the plan option under the name, which should be the name of whatever the thing is, and then under the plan, right? And I'm adding that to the ACC. Let's extract all of this. I'll say like num to add, add equals this. And then let's do num to add. And let me also console log this. So let's console log this like that. Okay. Let's come inside here. Sure, customizable profile, that's fine. And then this should, why is this not? What am I messing up here? Okay, well, I'm getting stuck on something stupid, so this should not be as hard as I'm making it, but sometimes that happens. So I think probably the best thing to do is if I just take a break and come back to this, hopefully it'll be so obvious that I'll laugh even more than I did just then. Okay, so let's forget about that. We've got everything basically working. The only other thing I need to do is actually make this a real true form. So let's do that. So let me come. Can you help me out here? There we go. So let's come over to my app. I'm going to do a couple things. Number one, this one should submit. This one I don't want to submit. So I think I'm going to make this a type of button. And then, let's see, I got to put all of this, current index, all this kind of stuff, and this inside of a form. This action will be nothing. I will have an on submit though. That will just pass to handle submit. This up top here, let's see, let's say handle submit. And I think what I'll do is remove this. So when they click backwards, it should go backwards. I know, I'm going to fix it. When they click this one, it should try to submit the form each time. And now what I want to know is if, let's see, first of all, I guess I need to e.prevent default. right? And then I need to type this. This is like HTML form or something. Form element. Does that seem even kind of close? Modification. That may not be right. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything you guys said. Nope. Okay. I guess this would be a form event though, right? Isn't there like a form? Yeah, there we go. Okay, form event. Did that pull in up top? Yeah. Okay, so we've got a form event. We can prevent the default. Now I can check if current index yeah, let's do this, is not equal to see, now I need my length too. So I think what I'm going to do, how do I want to handle this? Because this right here, this multi-use form, it gives me the current index. Oh, I can just say, is it last step? Yeah, is last step. So if this is equal to last step, let's do it that way, positively, then I'm just going to return like alert, congrats, something. Okay, I probably also need to move this below, assuming that's why it's yelling at me. Current index is last step. Oops. I can just do is last step. Then return that. Otherwise, I can say, let's see, go forwards. Right? Because basically I want to, this will handle whether or not to go forward and like how that works. But I might want to do something different, in which case I would want to jump out of this loop early. Okay, so if I go through here, right now nothing is required. If I confirm, it should say congrats. If I go back, that should work. But all these work. If I don't have this prevent default, if I go back here, every time I click, you see it refreshes the form. So I have to actually prevent the default. That's also why this is basically a type of submit, which I can just add manually here. Submit, but it's going to work anyhow because buttons by default inside of forms will submit them. I think all the rest of this works. Okay. I probably also need to make these things required somewhere. None of those are required. None of those are required. This personal info, though, does need to be personal info. Isn't it nice when you're not just beating your head against the wall? No. Have we fixed it? No. Does it matter? Probably. All right. Value. Let's grab all these. This, Command-Shift-L. And I think all these need to be required. So now I won't let me actually go forward without putting in something at email, Gmail, something, next step. We can switch this. We can go yearly, next step. Let's pick some add-ons, next step. Let's see. Oh man, I took my console log away. That could have been fun. Okay, we go back to 12 a month. All right, so we've got the final one to figure out. The other thing though I want to do is set up the stuff for, let's see what time I got. Yeah, okay. Well, as predicted, I knew I didn't have a chance of finishing the styling, but I was hoping to get the logic done at least. So tomorrow we can do styling. If you have any interest in that, let me know in the comments. Let's see. So we've got all those things set out properly. I need these numbers. That's what I want to do. How do they look on desktop? There we go. Your info, select plan, all that stuff. Okay. So let's see. Is there... I probably want to make these buttons, I think, actually, that advance them past sections. But I think I want to make it like a submit button. So maybe I try that. So let's split this over this way. And in the actual app itself, I'm going to have this section be like, I don't know, sidebar, something like that. And then we'll have 4 buttons inside of here. And I think what I'm going to do, I don't actually have these named anywhere. Let's see, is this yelling at me somewhere? Just feels like it. I feel slightly judged by this thing because it gave me problems earlier. All right, so let's just, I don't know what this stuff is. Let's get rid of all that. Okay, so yeah, let's select, let's do like sidebar. I don't know if that'll work. And then this will just be an array of items. I guess I really just need the names. So let's do that. So we'll say, which means, actually, I think I have an idea. Your info, select plan, add-ons. I don't know how you do that, something like that. And then summary. Now what I can do is actually take this sidebar so I don't have to manually keep updating this. Dot length. Right? Why doesn't it like me? Oh, well, okay, that's a valid reason. So something, something at something, something. Okay, next. Confirm. So that's interesting because on these, all the way back here, when I refresh, when I refresh this page, it auto selects this because that's what I want it to do. And then when I come over here, and I click here, because it's already pre-selected this, it's now, and I don't have anything auto-selected, it selects the next step, and the next step, and the confirm, which is cool. Okay. So that's my correct length, and then it says something, something. Okay, congrats. All right, so I think that works. Now I just need to take the sidebar, and I need to loop through it down here. So let's take sidebar.map, and I do need the index, so we'll say like item and index maybe. And then let's go ahead and return a button for each of these. And the key will be my, I guess we'll just call it the item. And then inside here is where we'll display everything else we need. So I'm going to have this say, first of all, we're going to have like a number or something like that. And this will be my index. Next to this, I'll have another div. And this will have step index. And this will be a paragraph. And then I'll also have a paragraph that says whatever the item is. There we go. These things. Okay, now the other thing I need to do is to say that on click, handle, handle sidebar click, because it's outside of the form, although I guess I could put it inside the form, but since it's outside of the form, I can't rely on it submitting, but I do actually want to check. Maybe I should put it inside the form. So if I do that, all these things will naturally be, let's try that. So I think that's right. So if I put it inside the form, all these things will naturally submit the form, and it won't let me jump to an additional step. But I probably need to say, how am I going to pass along the thing that's been clicked on? I guess we can just let them go all the way through. That's not ideal though. Like if they're on number 1 and they want to skip to number 3 and they haven't filled it out, it'll just let them skip if I bypass the form. But then I'll get a submission without any name. How would you handle that? Yeah, I think maybe let's just move this inside the form. And then all of these can be inside of another div. We'll call like main or something. I guess we'll just call it a main tag. How about that? Because the whole thing should probably be a main. I don't know. We'll just leave it like that. Not sure I love that. Let's just do div with the class name of main or form items or something. Okay, so form items and sidebar. Now these things should submit the plan. The problem is they're only going to go forwards. Let me just console.log my E, because I think I get along with this the target that's been clicked on, maybe something. So something at email and something. So let's check. What do I get? Oh, I click next. Well, either way, I'll get this now. Target is the form. Current target is null. Well, that's not cool, because that's what I wanted is my current target. What happens if I click? Oh, as I click any of those, it just advances. I forgot. So let's go back to the beginning. Something at email.com. Okay, so even here I get my target is null. How would I handle that? Now I'm talking myself out of putting this inside the form. Let's do that. Let's take it back out, and then we might put it back, and then we'll just keep switching it up until we find something that works. So I think what I'm going to do is just manually check. So on click, handle, sidebar. Yeah, I think this is what I'm going to do. Click like this, and then I'm going to come up here and say const handle sidebar click. Now I'm kind of wondering if this is going to work, but we'll see. Event, React event. What is that thing called? I forget. Mouse event, maybe? I think that's what they call it. Yeah, okay. So mouse event is how it's typed. So I'm going to e.prevent default just for kicks. Then what I want to do is check if it's the current first index. If it is the first step, then I want to can I just like handle submit right here? Otherwise, expected 1 but got 0. Well, I want to basically manually submit the form. Can you do that? Manually or like programmatically submit form React something? Let's see. What does Carol say? Something, don't use refs. This. Okay, well, they're extending classes. So add input fields. Don't want to do that. Handle submit. On submit, handle submit. Okay. For right now, let's just go forwards. Or go to, what's that go to thing? Go to, where's my hook? What did I call that thing? Oh, I never did it. Okay, well, let's do go to section and then take in an item, which is a number, and then set current index to number or to item. And now let's have go to section be a thing that I pull out of here. And now I can use this somewhere. And what I want to do is go to e dot something dot something. E dot target data set dot step or something like that is what we'll call it. Isn't it like e dot target dot maybe this was HTML element all along. And I won't prevent the default, that's fine. Dot something, nope, it wasn't. Okay, let's go back. Mouse event. Is there like a click event? No, just mouse event, okay. I'm pretty sure though that you can say data set dot. Can I just do dot value? Dot data set dot step. All right, that's what we're going to do. And if it wants to yell at us, then it can yell at us. But what we're going to do is come in here and say step or data step equals the index. Like that. Okay. Can I go to summary? No. Well, you can't fail a guy for trying. Syntax, non-existent modules. It hates me. I get it. Go to section. Well, that's not how you write a function. So that's part of the problem. But this is also not working. Okay. Well, at least something's happening. Go to section. This should be a number. So can I just numberify it? No. Let's do this. Let's go console.log. What am I getting here? Nothing. Okay. Handle sidebar click. Well, that's because that's also not how you write event listeners. Handle sidebar click. And here I should just pass it the index. And then I don't have to do this stupid thing. And instead what I can do is say that I'm getting the index in here. Why doesn't this like me? So on click, this needs to be handle, sidebar, click, and pass it the index. And this should just be an index, which is a number. And then I can just say go to section number. Maybe? Or index. Step. We call it whatever we want. Okay. Step 1, step 2. Oh, curse you. All right. So, what am I doing wrong here? Let's console.log the index. Is it because I'm passing something to a click event listener? Goodness, Chris. Yes. Can't do that. All right. So for right now, we're just going to get rid of this too. And we'll get rid of this. We'll come back to that. All right. Because that wasn't technically part of the brief. I just thought we would do it. All right. So for right now, we're not going to worry about these buttons. We'll just make them divs. And that way we don't even want to click on them. I look at those and I think I don't want to click on those at all. All right, so now at least we've got this stuff filled out properly. The last thing we could probably do is get the finalized step on the form done. So let me give that 5 minutes. And if I don't get it, because that's all working, that's working properly, that's working properly. If I don't get it, then I'll just come back to this. I might record this tomorrow, but I will probably do it on my own time and then just upload it because my internet is being stupid. And that way you can at least get some music and background noise and hopefully follow along with me if you'd like. Okay, so confirm everything goes right, but this is what I still need to work on. So what I need this to do is, if I come over here, I need to go to my summary, or like, what was that thing called? Finishing up. Okay. So in addition to whatever that stuff is, I need to yearly. Let's pull this up. All right, and I'm going to put a timer on my little stopwatch in front of my desk for 5 minutes. We're going to give it a go, and I don't think I'm going to finish it, but we won't know until we try. Okay, so we've got a few things here to think through. Got our plan. That is properly showing. Year, month, it shows depending on the plan we choose, right? I don't think that was the problem. So this should go to 90, and this should go to 90. Okay, so that's properly working. So now let's just go to the next sections here. So data right. Let's see, this down here, we'll probably eventually add another item, like a line or something like that down below, but we'll do that in a second. Or maybe I'll just put like a div line or something, and then comment that out just so I can remember. Here, what I want is for this to show only if, oops, let's grab all this and say, oops, online services. What was the order of this thing? Let's just do it in the order. Online services, larger storage, customizable. Okay, so online services is online services. So if it is, then do that. And oops, let's return it like this. And it does not like me. Syntax errors. What am I doing wrong? I'm just returning this. This is all inside of a single div, no? Online services. Does that work? Okay. Something at something. Okay, so I didn't check online services. If I do go check it and I come back, it should say, okay, so something's working. Let's grab this and let's return it here. Why is this not letting me show anything more than what am I doing wrong? So let's surround this and let's just build the thing out. So we'll say div, oops. So we'll say div, if it lets me, div and div. Is this, okay, so that's the problem, is I did this in the wrong place. So let's move this down. Then I'll paste in all this stuff. And now is it happy? No, it is not. Okay, well, what does it know? All right. Okay, so that's why it's because this thing, this whole thing needs to be wrapped in another div. Okay, syntax problems. Oops, div. And then like this. Okay, it just didn't have a single parent element. It could have told me that, I feel like, but who am I to judge? So if that's true, then this needs to just say, I guess I could just loop through this too, but while we're at it, I think I'm just going to copy this down and just input them one at a time like this. No, yeah, let's just do that. So this needs to say online service. and this should just be inside of a paragraph. And then plain length monthly. $9 a month. Okay, so that's that section. I don't need anything under here at all, so this should just say that. I don't have a button, so I can get rid of this. And I do have a year. There's my 5 minutes. Well, we've done nothing. All right. Yeah, my kids are up now. All right, so what I'm going to do is finish this one up, and then I'll just do the final 3 like this. And then tomorrow I will probably record the rest. I probably won't do it live since my internet's so stupid. And then I'll get back with you. All right, so let's do that, and then I will call this good. So plain length. This is not my plan options. Instead, it would be right here and right here. We're looking at online services. I think. I think I just need to get rid of this and oops, like this. Okay, so if we did this right, now if I, as long as I something at something dot something, okay. Oh, come on. And as long as I select this online service, now this should show at $1 a month. Or if I change it, it should show to $10 a year. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this basically for all the other ones. And I guess I could do this live. This is not that, well, I've said that before. Is customizable profile. This will say customizable profile. And this will say customizable profile. Same thing here is larger storage. I think those might need to be switched. Larger storage. And then this will say larger storage. All right, so I think we are set. I just have to find a way to add these stupid things up since that was tripping me up. I'm sure if I come back to it tomorrow, I will be totally on fire with it. Said no one ever. All right, so something. Here we go. Let's go advanced. Let's check everything. Give me it all. I want all the things. All right, and then I hit next, and they should all be there. I can change it, $20 a year. Now I just need to add up these values right here, and we should be good to go. Down here, just give it a total per year. So, all right, well, hopefully that was helpful in some way to somebody. But this is, like I said up front, this was going to be a challenging one. Adding TypeScript to it did not make it easier for me, but I think it's probably overall better for it. And TypeScript, it's not TypeScript's problem, it's my problem. Like we should probably all be saying with TypeScript every single time. So plan like that's right. This is the only thing I need to do, which is basically to figure out right here, like let's do like amount, our total amount. All right, since I couldn't figure that out yesterday or today, I'll try to figure it out tomorrow. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, for sticking around. I don't know if any of you stuck around for this whole thing. I barely did, but hopefully this was at least enjoyable for you. I will catch you in the next one. Thanks so much. Happy coding.